Here's a question you never realise you want the answer to. When your fuel light comes on, exactly how many miles can you drive before your car stops? I'm in my Jaguar XJS here. It's a V12 model from 1989. According to the trip computer, we used 64.4 litres of petrol at about the time the fuel light came on, which is the yellow light just there. So the question is, how far can we drive with the fuel gauge at about that position and the fuel light on? Well, I don't know. Does that mean we've got 1 gallon left? 4.5 litres? Does it mean we've got 10 litres left? Does it mean we've got 2 gallons? I have no idea, but I'm going to find out. Fairly simply, I'm going to make a note of this figure here. I'm going to go and drain the tank in the engine bay, and I'm going to measure how much comes out, and I'll know for certain how much range we ultimately have. It's been a bit of a bugbear of mine on various cars. You know, when the fuel light comes on, do you have 25 miles range, 10 miles, 50 miles? I don't know, and I've never been brave enough to actually run any car dry, so we're going to find out. This channel answers all the questions you never realised you wanted to know. Well, we're draining the fuel tank of the XJS again, as you can see, this time in order to determine what the fuel capacity is. I bibbed the tank. I think the dial showed 3/4 full, something like that. My fuel light's just come on, between 62 and 64 litres used. I'm now draining the remainder of the tank so I can work out exactly how much fuel is left in the tank when the light comes on, and consequently how much range I have when the light comes on. You can see it going in there. I've got this illuminated from behind, which is why you can see the fluid level there. What I did was I bridged the relay in the back of the car. So let's see, when the yellow light comes on, the fuel warning light, at least in my car, how much fuel we actually have left. Well, we have the answer. The fuel pump note just changed. It kind of goes to a higher pitch, and that is how much fuel we got out. This is a 20 litre container, so I reckon that's about 10 litres, about half full. So that means that with the 63 litres I think I used, we have a tank capacity of 73 litres in this V12 coupe from 1989. I have to confess, I thought I read somewhere that it was a 90 litre capacity. So perhaps I'm not filling it to the brim when I do fill it. I'm going to have to check that, but this is useful to know anyway. So if you've got 10 litres, what's that? Almost 2 gallons, call it. Yeah, I think it is about 2 gallons. So if you're on the motorway, driving at 70 miles an hour, doing 20 miles per gallon, you have a range of 40 miles before the car conks out. Useful to know. Well, I'll just put all the fuel back in the tank. So we're just going to turn the ignition on a couple of times and prime the fuel rail. So see where the needle moves to with this now. This is 8 to 10 litres from that red tank plus an extra 5 I just put in, and that's where the fuel gauge sits without the engine running. Okay, well, that is all done. We have our answer. It was 64 litres on there on the trip computer, plus an extra, call it 8 litres in the red tank. So 72 litres is the total capacity of the fuel in the XJS, at least mine. And when the fuel light comes on, the yellow light on the dashboard, you've got approximately 8 litres left, which by my calculations would get you between 30, yeah, call it 30 miles. So it might get you at a push to 40 miles on the motorway if you're driving at, say, 56 miles per hour. But around town or just general driving, I think that's kind of 30 miles. So I think we'll go with 30 miles reserve fuel capacity. Worth mentioning, I didn't completely drain the tank. I basically ran it until I heard the fuel pump change note. That's the point at which it matters anyway, because you know it's not going to be delivering fuel to the engine, so that's the point you'll break down. So there might be a couple of litres left swilling around in the bottom of the tank, but I don't think that's really relevant to this test. So there we go. Cheerio.